everyone, I'm Buster Green, and welcome back to Gundam Build Guide, where I only need 31 subscribers to get monetized. Just 31? That's like less than the number of days in the month. I'm so close now. Help. Okay, anyway, Gundam news this week is pretty insignificant since most of the franchise is focused on Witch from Mercury right now. Meanwhile, Away from Mess Team has suddenly started streaming for free on YouTube, which is really nice if you've been meaning to rewatch it again. I have it on DVD, but hey, rewatching it's fun enough, especially that first episode where, he sees the girl in the jungle. Anyway, the main news going on this week is that the last two Gino Reconquista movies, plus Cuckra Stone's Island, are all suddenly coming out on Blu-ray in Japan over the next couple of months. Unfortunately, even though these contain English subtitles and will play on English Blu-ray players, they're unfortunately all Japanese Blu-rays, which means even though you can play them, they're going to cost somewhere in the ballpark between $60 to $140, depending on how many extra special features you want included in the package. Ugh, Japanese DVD prices, they just make me sick. The most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life, you guys, was when I traveled to Japan and I walked into a department store and someone wanted to sell me a DVD of Ugly Betty Season 3 for the Japanese retail price of relatively $900. I'm not paying that. I don't even like that show. Anyway, enough about that. Gundam Breaker Mobile time. Alright, so we've seen many times throughout this game there would be a suit that would cost money, and then later on they'd release an easier to get free charity version of it that everyone could unlock for free. However, this week they did the opposite of that. They've released an old charity suit for money. And realistically, it's not that much better than the old charity-free version. So yeah. This week the pull suit is the Tallgeese 3, which we previously had as a charity reward, I don't know, 3 years ago. Now I will say, if you absolutely have to pull on it, the arms on the new Tallgeese 2 are very OP. They have a nice buff skill that buffs both your melee and your shot attack, and for I think your entire squad, and it also debuffs at the same time too. So that's pretty cool. But apart from those arms, the rest of the suit is hot trash. It's very much the stat-wise equivalent of the previous free version from 3 years ago, except for the fact the new version can now go 7-star. Anyway, the Aerial Gundam from last week is still up, and that's still overall a more attractive option, so I pulled on that instead. But I got nothing because unfortunately the rates on that banner are still hot trash. So just a horrible week for banners in this game. Anyway, aside from that, there's a lot of missions this week. First of all, we have a new scenario mission for the Earth 3 Gundam. I had to build the Earth 3 Gundam, and then I actually had a pretty difficult time playing the scenario mission because the final boss is the Self-Sam Gundam, and it's extremely strong. Topping it off, the Earth 3 Gundam's EX seals are not extremely great for clearing the stage. They do have a good refresh rate, but overall they kind of suck, so I really had to pimp out the Earth 3 Gundam to finally beat the stage. In fact, I think this was one of probably the hardest scenario missions ever, just because I had to upgrade the Earth 3 Gundam so much to beat it. Next up is the P physical battle circuit. Now, I cleared it as best I could, and I got a pretty decent time. A few weird suits came out of my closet, like this one for space, which is very normal looking. And I was actually super happy with my build for the final round, since it randomly turned out to be bulky as hell, and it looked great. Yeah, couple of fun rounds here and there, and it wasn't too hard. Mostly just making sure my suits didn't come out weird and I didn't make any mistakes because I was tired. Beyond that, there's a new custom mission this week, which ended up being really exhausting. I made my own custom mission first, and then I fought a bunch of other people's custom missions. A lot of them were really awesome, but I also got defeated a few times too, so the custom mission board is as usual, a pretty nice crapshoot. And lastly, the Perfect Grade Strike Gundam is back to terrorize very large groups of people again. So I played that out a few times to finish out my day, and it was fun enough. Nothing to report serious about rewards, but to get through the battle circuit, I did finally redeem the new Moon Gundam from the Arena Awards section, which I've been hesitating on, so that was good. And yeah, that's it for the week with Gundam. Thanks for coming by, you guys. Catch me on Monday, where I'll be reviewing the next episode of Witch from Mercury, and catch me this time next week for another episode of Gundam Build Guide. Also, because I'm so close to getting monetized, if you guys could watch some of my older videos, it helps me beat the YouTube algorithm, and it just overall helps my channel stay afloat, which I kind of need right now. Like, I'm almost to enough subscribers, but I definitely need more like watch times and watch views. So yeah, check out this old video I made. All right, thanks guys. Later.